Hello there, hello there, hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Radio Free Wall Street. And it's a particularly opportune time for me to be talking to you. I'll tell you why. I have a lot of experience with being a whistleblower. And I have a lot of experience about writing a book called Impeached President before the impeachment, giving testimony, discovering Monica Lewinsky and making sure everybody found out about her, and aiding and abetting the impeachment of Bill Clinton. I can tell you that it's an accomplishment to stay alive. They will send goons. They will completely discredit you, seize your bank accounts, take your money, destroy your business, and try to destroy your life. But you know what I tell you? Fuck them. Okay? And God hates a coward. So this poor whistleblower who is in government probably does not have the experience in maybe protecting himself adequately. And he's relying upon his lawyers and politicians. So he's about to testify against Donald Trump. Donald Trump is guilty as hell. Donald Trump is a savage, an animal, a traitor to America. It's not a witch hunt. He actually tried to get the Ukrainians to collude with him in the next election, discredit the man who's running far ahead in the elections, I might add, and also to show them where the Hillary Clinton server is. See, Donald Trump's got a fixation. Let me tell you what it is. He colluded with the Russians. I heard him say, Russia, if you're listening, if you can find Hillary's emails, you'll be richly rewarded. He actually said that in public, okay? And I love WikiLeaks, right before WikiLeaks released the dirt. So, you got to be a freaking congenital idiot if you don't understand it. By the way, I just wrote some country. Let me tell you, I hope you're not the average American with a third grade, but I got a job in my coal mine. No, you don't. Coal mines have lost 16% production and employment since Donald Trump. Coal, great again. And let's not talk about making cars great again. Car factories are closing or on strike, okay? So you've been bullshitted. Now, I can tell you that most people who deal with the American public, write to a third-grade mentality, okay? We don't do that here, but I'm just saying that. And the average American wants what? Well, three things. Something to eat, something to fuck, something to get fucked up on, and that's their life story. I mean, it's just the get something to fuck and fuck up, and and something to get fucked on. So you understand that's the socialist welfare state of America, and the public votes that, and that's how the elections go. Donald Trump's problem is that the day after he walked away from the Mueller disastrous testimony, he realized the Mueller case was going nowhere. Now, that was complicated. It was more than one page, and so it was too complicated for the American public to even read or understand. I'm sure most Americans didn't read it. It's a witch hunt. It's a deep state conspiracy. Oh, deep state, is that something new? Politicians trying to bash each other in the head and get them out of office? Politicians snitching on each other, recording each other, sending scumbags to spy on each other and killing people? That's how politics goes, okay? Read Machiavellian. So the problem is, it's called Machiavellian the Prince. I'm sure you all read it. Anyway, reality is that's how the game's played. Now, the problem Donald Trump's got is that he's got himself on tape. Here's a tape. He's got testimony which he released where he asked Ukraine to go after Biden. Pretty simple, okay? And that is an impeachable defense. Now, whether or not the Democrats are smart enough to handle this and keep it simple, stupid, so the idiots can understand it, remains to be seen. Now, the forever Trumpers, the guys stand there, coal mine, go, well, I know I got black lung disease, but my father was a coal miner, my grandfather was a coal miner, and I want the little young'un here to be a coal miner. Well, if you got somebody that's stupid, there's nothing you can do with them, right? You just got to leave them alone. I'm being honest with you, okay? And if you work at a coal mine, you're a fucking congenital idiot, okay? And if you can't see that the end is near and that there will be no coal mining, then you're a bigger idiot than I thought. And if you work in a factory, China didn't take your jobs, robots did in automation, okay? Go into your little Chevy factory, go, oh, when I went here 4 years ago, well, where's the welders? Well, you got the robots welding the car for you. Well, where's the painters and the spray booth? Because I used to like the spray booth guys to get high on the paint. Well, we got robots doing that. Well, the car engine comes automatically assembled. Who does that? Robots. So scratch your ass and go, I think I'm in a diminishing return. And steel great again? Well, the biggest steel mills in the world and the biggest lumber producers are outside the United States. Why? It's a dirty, nasty business. So What would you rather do? Mine iron ore for $100 a ton and turn it into steel plate? Or would you rather mine silicone and turn it into billion-dollar chips, okay? Where is the smart money? Okay, where's the future? What do you want your kids to grow up to be? Coal miner? Car assembler? Or do you want them to know how to program and do artificial intelligence and do the things of the future? So think about it, okay? Because the world's changing. There will be car factories in the future where you will load the materials on the dock by robot, in a semi-truck that delivers it to the dock by robot, in robots that will unload it, and they'll bring it in there, and robots will assemble the cars that come out the other end. There'll be 5 guys with clipboards in white jackets watching the process and monitoring their computer terminals. That's the future. Okay, so that's the problem, is that Donald Trump is of the past. See, fundamentally, forget about the fact he's the most corrupt piece of shit, lying bastard, scumbag, money launderer, criminal that ever existed in the White House. And that's saying something to me. He actually topped Tricky Dick. But he's a man of the past, okay? His idea of making money is you get a condominium, pour over concrete, do the payoffs, and then you launder money in it and sell them. So basically, America's looking backward. These trade wars are really stupid shit. Let China have the steel. Let Japan have the car production, okay? Let them make the antique chips of years ago. Really, 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 let them have it. Let them make the cell phones, okay? What are you going to do? You're going to concentrate on 5G. You're going to concentrate on artificial intelligence. You're going to concentrate on virtual reality like America has done for the last 100 years and lead the developments forward. You can't hang on to technology. Technology proliferates. And people have stole technology since the first guy broke in the cave and stole fire. And since the guy watching the bushes said, I'm going to make a wheel. Okay, you can't stop it. The gunpowder proliferated all through Europe and ended the castle. Nuclear weapons, okay. Hello, the A-bomb. Okay, so you can't, no matter what. Look at the A-bomb, most guarded secret in the world. Think about it, okay. I mean, Fermi and those guys were locked on military bases and were basically canaries in gilded cages. They couldn't even go out for a cup of coffee, okay. And the amount of secrecy was something untold in the annals of human history. Pakistan's got the bomb, okay? You look at these little shithole countries got the bomb. So wake up and understand that Donald Trump's attempts to stop technology from proliferating is a sick joke. Now, the problem is that Donald Trump goes down, he's taking down America with him. As far as those Chicanos, WAPs, Mix, I mean, you know, whatever ethnic group you want to disparage, we need them. We need them. America was built by the slaves. Okay, all countries are built by the slaves. Okay, I know. Okay, they may be wage slaves without chains, but they're still slaves. Okay, the Irish were the bricklayers. Okay, I mean, let's get smart here. Okay, the Chinese laid the railroad tracks. Okay, you know, let's get smart here. The blacks did the farming. Okay, the reality is that the poor and the Latinos now kill your chickens and pick your fruits. It's a deal. The deal goes, you come from a shit place. It's really, if you want to talk about modern slavery, give me your poor, your weak, your humbled, your multitude, and I will set them free for a price. They'll work in my factories. They'll work on the farm. They'll wash the dishes and clean the toilet. And through natural selection is the one that get an education, either formal or informal, get to participate in the American dream, and we find the next group to oppress. Oppression is God's system. Slavery is a biblical concept. Now, no, wait. I didn't do it. That's what they wrote. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. But you need to wise up and realize that to disparage against these people is a serious mistake. To get them out of the system and not let them into America, you got somebody that wants to get on a boat and die to come to your country? Well, shit. Come on down. Yeah, put on that bib and wash them dishes, scrub them floors, clean them toilets, and they're glad to do it. Now, the ones that break the laws, you break their dick, you put them in jail, okay? By the way, the arrest rate among Latin Americans is lower than most other ethnic groups, especially among the ones who are illegal aliens. So, again, that's just a whole false narrative. So don't let Donald Trump make an idiot out of you. Now, let me talk about something serious. I don't give a shit. You love Donald Trump or hate him, read the tea leaves. This is a serious attack. Okay, now I can tell you that having been involved in great detail and wrote the guidebook on the impeached president and involved in getting people to testify and lining up witnesses and making sure Monica Lewinsky got known by everyone. And don't forget her pretty blue dress with the DNA evidence. Donald Trump may not have had sex with her, but his dick sure thought he did. So the reality is that Donald Trump, during the impeachment process, got reelected, and he passed a tax bill, and he survived, okay? And that's because the focus was so narrow as to be, who gives a shit who he fucks in the Oval Office, bottom line, okay? Dick Nixon, it was his corruption. It was interfering in the elections. And that's what brought him down, and it was the pressure of the impeachment and the revelation of his crimes that forced him to resign and be humiliated. Now, I do not see, by any stretch of the imagination, Donald Trump being impeached and voted out of office by the Republicans in the Senate. It takes a 2/3 majority. The Republicans are not going to do that. But what I do see is Donald Trump continuing with the cover-ups, okay? Same thing with Dick Nixon. They committed the crime, and then they get nailed for the cover of the crime. Donald Trump did cover up the Russian collusion. Cambridge Analytica, which was owned by Steve Bannon, who was one of his consultants, owned the company. They provided data with the Russians. The Russians had troll farms that were soliciting, doing like campaigns. I'm your friend. Are you lonely tonight? I'll talk to you. Doing all that crap with those people, okay? And the reality is that it got him elected. And Donald Trump is an illegitimate president who was brought through by the Russians, and he's been forever grateful to the Russians, defending them. He wants Ukraine to take the blame for interfering in the elections and all this crazy shit. Look, forget this shit. You love him. I don't give a shit. He promises you a bigger pot of tea and Circus Maximus, who gives me the best show in the arena and the biggest loaf of bread and the biggest jug of wine to get drunk on. I understand that, neat third grader. I understand that, okay, Cro-Magnon. And I'm sorry your hands are dragging the ground, but for the intelligent, enlightened people, understand that this is getting traction. Now, the forever Trumper dumpers, they're going to vote for him. I mean, I'm sure there are a few farmers who, well, I think I got a problem here. No one's buying my shit, Trump. I think some of them are kind of like dawning on them that he's really fucked them with the trade deal, okay? And I think there are a couple of coal miners going, well, why are they closing my mine down here? I got my lunch pail and free coffee from the cafe, and they closed it. I wasn't supposed to. That didn't pay me, okay? So I think he's lost that vote. And as far as the factory workers in the Midwest, okay, well, wake up and smell the coffee. Car manufacturing is, by the way, making cars is a shit business, okay? And it's a low margin business. And the labor price you pay is the key thing. So until you get factory automation, which is not good for the job market, you can't compete. America will compete against all of our enemies, both militarily and economically, by our brains. America will compete by what? America will compete by being able to outthink them. Okay? Our rockets fly faster and farther. Our nukes are bigger. We have the ability to shoot down drones, at least when we figure it out. We've been using gunpowder, for like centuries. Isn't it time for a different weapon system like laser? Okay? We've been flying airplanes with men in it that can, that have to have G suits so they can survive, and the plane can do twice the G load if you have robots in there. Isn't it time to go, sorry, flight jock, hang up your leather jacket and get a job with TWA because we don't need a fighter pilot no more. I mean, that's the reality. So America will basically scratch his ass and go, we need automation. We need to fire laser beams. Why? Well, because they're there instantaneously and they're devastating. Okay, as versus bullets. I haven't been doing that. I mean, it's time for a change, okay? So people don't actually, it's amazing that people don't realize that. And it's amazing how stupid our leaders are. But the reality is you don't have to stay stupid. So I'm here to give you a clue. Donald Trump is now facing his biggest threat to his presidency ever. And they may just be able to force him out, okay? Now, you love him, you hate him. What could be asking? Do you want to get a little red T-shirt? Do you want to make millions, okay? I mean, let's talk about it. Really, really, really. You think Donald Trump's going to pay for your retirement? And when they want $25,000 for that latest pill, you think Donald Trump's going to come there and go, Oh, yeah, I'll get it for you. Really, really, really? I don't think so. So you need to wake up and smell the coffee, realize that Trump ain't going to do shit for you, and he's going to bullshit you, and he's not going to deliver. Like all politicians. Why is he any different? But the other thing is that there's a fortune to be made. I made many, many millionaires, even though people didn't realize it at the time, because there's money to be made in this impeachment shit, okay? Do you understand that? Money to be made, money, honey, buckaroonies. Okay, so do you want to be a forever Trumper, or do you want to be filthy, stinking rich? Okay? And the reality is that Donald Trump is facing the greatest threat to his presidency. This whistleblower is a hell of a lot more credible than I ever was. He's got the goods. Remember, Donald Trump released the transcripts that show him colluding. Now, they're going to try to speak, well, he didn't mean exactly that. Yeah, he did. I mean, unless you just kind of like, you took a dumb pill, it's obvious that Donald Trump did collude with the Ukrainians to go after his rival and withheld funds from them and gave them great legacies, $300 billion, okay, to make it all work. Now, if you understand that, then you walk away with the reality that Trump is in big trouble. That whistleblower, well, maybe they can take him out, okay? Donald Trump's got I guarantee you that there's a discussion right now going on among some circles about how to handle his whistleblower. And having his car blow up, or choking on his tea, or having a heart attack, that's a big one, or he couldn't stand the president, he shot himself in the head, like some of Clinton's cronies, okay? So whatever, this guy's in jeopardy, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him incapacitated, dead, suicide, kind of like that guy that had all those girlfriends that was in the worst case, I hang in New York City prison. Because, think about it. Think about it, okay? So the problem is that you need to grasp that Donald Trump is facing his first really serious challenge to his presidency. Now, the Mueller investigation could have paid her, except it was completely mishandled. They didn't want to bring charges, which they could have. They didn't want to say the crime was committed, which they could have. And they had poor senile Mueller there tripping all over his dick, couldn't find where page 35 was. So it was a fiasco. Now, if the Democrats have learned a lesson and stopped getting 35 people going, here's your 3 minutes, I yield my time. Did you ever step on your dick? Yeah, you did? I know you did. I don't need to get into stupid pissing contests. Hire a prosecutor to really run this thing. Let those little congressmen and senators sit in their booth and shut the fuck up and examine this thing and bring it very simple like a third grader. Here is Donald Trump. Here is Donald Trump holding money from the Ukrainians. Here's Donald Trump asking the Ukrainians to get dirt on his Pence and on his next presidential candidate that he's running against, okay? And at some point, if you tell the story, the public will understand it. Now, Donald Trump will go apeshit crazy. I understand he's raving and ranting in the White House. He will do anything he can, being a proper, reality TV show host, to get it off the news, to change the narrative, okay? That's what he does. Now, if he does that, he'll make mistakes. Rudy Giuliani is absolutely, the best thing you do with Rudy is put him in a room with no microphones and no TV cameras and say, Rudy, shut up. That's not going to happen. So these guys are going to talk themselves into bigger trouble. Now, if you understand that and you grasp that, then you say, okay, how do I capitalize on it? Well, let me just give you a couple examples. As this was happening, Donald Trump basically uses his bully pulpit to get the narrative, to get the things off the news. And one of the things he did was he announced that, I'm not going to let Chinese shares of stock trade on the New York Stock Exchange, okay, known as ADRs, okay? Immediately, Treasury Department said, well, no, that's not going to happen, okay, because they realized that it would hurt Americans and it would hurt the stock market and it wouldn't do shit for the Chinese who can trade that shit in Hong Kong. So Donald Trump doesn't understand that. Then he did the narrative, we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a deal with the Iranians and they've agreed to negotiate if I lift all sanctions, which I'm going to do. Oil market careened. Well, as soon as the denial came out, the oil market bounced back up and the stock market went down and bounced back up. So this is going to be a lot more of roiling the markets, saying things to go ahead and get the heat off. So what you need to grasp is the president is facing his darkest hours. This is his greatest threat to his presidency. Now, it's a deep state conspiracy. Democrats are that. If they're that smart to engineer this thing, and a deep state conspiracy is smart enough to get Donald Trump to get in transcripts which he released as authentic, offering bribes, payoffs, using influence, peddling, and collusion to attack his enemies, okay? Then they're so smart they've won anyway, okay? Because he's too stupid to beat them. Now, Trump will attack his accusers like he always does. He'll make countercharges. Deny everything, make countercharges. That's one of the rules that Donald Trump's world lives in. The guy's been in 3,000 lawsuits. Litigation doesn't scare him. The problem is he's handling this as litigation. And this is impeachment. It's a different ball game. Okay? The whistleblower is credible. White House staff is credible. Now, what Donald Trump's got to do is he's got to scare him. He threatened, in the olden days, these people are traitors. And in the olden days, we knew how to deal with them. Donald Trump wishes for the old days where he's a dictator, He would love to be a Hitler. He would love to be a Kim Jong-Numchucks. I mean, he loves the position of the North Korean. He'd love to have death camps. He'd love to have torture centers for his enemies. I'm telling you, that's how he's orientated. Donald Trump is not consistent with a democracy. Now, if you want a demagogue, he's got power, he's going to make things happen, that's fine. But if you want to live in a world where trade deals are negotiated and you got good parts of the trade deals and bad part of the trade deals and you have advantages, the other side has an advantage, then you're prepared to deal in the world. But if you're in a New York real estate office with 16 people and the way you make money is get the Soho building and have Russian oligarchs come in there and launder money through your German account, then that's a different business than being president of the United States, okay? That's the art of the corrupt deal. And it just doesn't work that easily for him in Washington. He doesn't understand the game's played. So what I'm here to tell you is, having been there, got the T-shirt to prove it, including the yacht that was sunk and running for our lives in the middle of the night from the hit squads, okay? I know what it's like to be a whistleblower on a president, and I understand the nasty shit they can do to you. Got it? So this guy's in trouble. Now, Donald Trump's in trouble. So how Donald Trump handles it will be remarkable. I'm sure if they took me out, Donald Trump would have never been impeached, and he knows it, and I know it. I'm sorry, Donald Trump. Well, that's deja vu all over again. I'm sure if they had taken me out, Clinton would have never been impeached, okay? And as it was, he was able to wiggle ways out of it politically, okay? Now, with Trump, let me say this to you. Bill Clinton's a lot smarter than Donald Trump and a lot more sophisticated. Bill Clinton really is a genius. Donald Trump really is not a genius. Clinton really understood power. And remember that as he was going through the impeachment process, he still was able to work with Congress. He got his tax legislation through. He was able to, in a very sophisticated way, narrow the scope of the impeachment to whether he got a blowjob or not, and walk away from it rather than the Whitewater and all the other things that went on. Very clever. Trump is not that smart. Trump is still trying to get somebody to say Hillary Clinton colluded with the Russians and won me the election. Why? Donald Trump's an egotist, and he knows that he is an illegitimate candidate. He really won by collusion with the Russians, okay? It really was, unless I hate Hillary, it really was Hillary's election to win. So Donald Trump is living with that legacy, and he wants more than anything else to legitimize himself, and he's not able to do that. Now, if you understand that, then you can understand that, holy shit, this guy is in big trouble, and it means something to him. It means something to him that he gets Ukraine to say the servers are there with the Hillary emails. You got to go Russia to find those. He really, really wants them to take out any candidate that's credible against him. Okay? And he really, really wants this investigation to go away. And he really wants the whistleblower to be silent. And he really, really, really wants to win the election and stay out of jail. The problem is public opinion is shifting against him. Whether you agree with it or not, love Trump or not, let me tell you something. It is really stupid to have a situation like this and not capitalize on it, number one, and number two, not understand it. Donald Trump, again, is facing the biggest threat to his presidency. Now, can he survive it? Well, yeah. Is it a situation where it's the Democrats to lose? Yeah, if they overplay their hand. But they play this very smart and go, here's the president, Here's the telephone. It goes ringy, ringy. Here is Ukraine. He's giving big money to, and he wants a favor to go after the candidate that is rising in the polls. And he sent his personal lawyer and made a deal, and he said he was sending his personal lawyer on the tape. Listen to it. And that's illegal. That is a crime. And it's a serious crime. It threatens our very democracy. Now, like I said, if you paint them a little picture with a crayon and you connect the dots, well, I don't know if that's so right. I don't know if I want to vote for him anymore. I didn't know he was doing that. No, don't sound right to me, honey, baby, honey. What do you think, baby, honey? You know, so if he can appeal to the stupid money. Remember, Reagan found his strength in the silent majority. Donald Trump has found his strength in the stupid majority. Wigged out, opioid out, potted out, smoked out, douchebagged out, okay? Just completely out of the game. And he's learned how to appeal to them. The problem is being a populist, okay, is a real problem. And it's a problem that people can understand, okay? Donald Trump has pushed things too far. And what's going on here now is you got all the apologists out there, and, well, you know, he didn't do it. There's no proof. That's hearsay. Okay. If you understand the spy agency, if you understand the whistleblower, that doesn't make any difference, okay? And the reality is that Donald Trump also has transcripts that he's got hidden with his calls with Putin and Saudi Arabia, and Donald Trump basically was for sale. He's Putin's bitch, okay, between the Yellow Rain videos and between the money laundering videos and between the collusion and helping win the election, he's owned by Putin, okay? And if you understand that, then you understand that, you know, Trump's got a big problem, okay? And it's basically a complete illegal abuse of power. Now, like I said, do you really give a shit right or wrong, yes or no, go, no go? Or do you want to make money? Do you want to preserve your wealth, okay? Because if Donald Trump goes down, then you're going to go down. If Donald Trump goes up, you're going to go down. So you're better off having Donald Trump down than up. Let me explain what I mean. Forget all this collusion, deep state shit, all that bullshit, okay? Talk about making money, do-re-mi. Here's the problem. Donald Trump has started on trade wars that are not making America great again, okay? Mexico did not build a wall and make it tall, okay? It's not there. The invasion of them damn foreigners still happens, okay? And he renegotiated NAFTA, and there was no benefit for U.S. companies. He was going to make coal great again by his negotiations, did not. Part of the deal, he was going to go ahead and make steel great again and did not. He was going to go make the farmer great again, the great American farmer, and he's bankrupting him. And he renegotiated the trade agreement and got nothing. He has started a trade war with the Chinese over who's going to build 5G cell towers. Is that really? Do you really give a shit about something like that? I mean, really. I mean, has he fed you that full of shit? Okay, it's a disaster. It's going to cause another depression, okay, like the last time. So we know where this is going. Now again, as we speak, the Federal Reserve, by the way, is putting vast amounts of money into the banking system in cash notes repurchase agreements. And that basically means here's a pile of money and hope you can stay in business. The banks are broke again. You're going to have another 2007, 8, 9 real estate crash and banking wipeout, and it's going to be caused by the trade war. Now, you got a year or two, but watch your real estate crash. Watch your funds, what you're paying you. I got a whole 4% for my Fidelity 5-way, 6-way loan money to big shit crap that won't pay you back. That's 4% if you get paid back. But by the time at the end of the note, you're not going to get paid back. They bought Argentina 100-year debt, 100-year bonds. Guess what? Argentina's defaulting. They bought Venezuela Maduro debt that he's already reneged on. They bought, you like this one? Portuguese utility company debt that's wiped out. So wake up and smell the coffee. The banks are broken. The same shit they did last time they're doing all over again, including zero down payment, no credit application mortgage, and all this crap. Now, Donald Trump is aggravating the situation by these senseless trade wars. I have no problem with a trade war. Sure, the Chinese steal intellectual property, but the reality is that there are more suits filed by Intel against Qualcomm and these guys fighting among themselves, okay? Everybody steals technology from each other, from the foreigners and all that shit. What's the game? You get your technology, you develop it faster, you get it to market, and you got that window where you make money on it. That's the reality, okay? What's the future? Well, the future of America is drones. The future of America is the self-driving car, the autonomous vehicle, autonomous trucking. The secret to America is robotics, artificial intelligence. Okay? These are the technologies America leads in, and that will make America great again. Opening up a fucking steel mill? Give me a break. There's no money in the business. There's no money in it. Okay? Putting seeds in the ground and watching them grow? You don't have the labor. Okay? They can do it cheaper in Mexico. They can do it cheaper in Argentina. They can do it cheaper in Brazil because they pay them $2 a day. Okay? There's no money in it. Coal? It doesn't work. You got natural gas up the ass. They burn most of it. It's clean burning. It really is. It's really the transportation fuel choice, except that the greenies don't want it, and the big oil doesn't want it because they can't make any money. Remember, the money in the oil business is refining oil. So you get a little smart here. You want to know what the deep state conspiracy is? A conspiracy by everybody against you. Not poor Donald Trump the Great. Don't fall into that bullshit. Don't fall into that shit. Trump is not a victim. Trump is as much a deep state conspirator as everyone else is. Yeah, hey, like your intelligent lesson here, okay? So you want to be smart, or you want to be smart, you want to be rich, or do you want to be Donald Trumper and be poor? Figure it out. Look at who his constituency are. It's the stupid majority. Right or wrong, deep state conspiracy, George Soros, whatever the bullshit is, these people are done. A coal miner doesn't have a future. A guy assembling cars does not have a future. A guy driving a taxi cab or a semi-truck does not have a future. A guy assembling cars and working in a factory, especially factory repetitive operations, doesn't have a future. A guy that can write code has got a future. Artificial intelligence has a future. Got it? Got it? Robotics has a future. Okay? These technologies have a future. The ways of the past are done. I can appreciate a handmade leather buggy whip as much as anyone else. In fact, I got one. But I got one. And the guy who made it was in Mexico, by the way. It was a beautiful work of art. But I don't use it. It's not part of my life. Okay? Steel is not part of your life. Coal is not part of life. When's the last time you heated a lump of coal? Okay? So it's a new world with new technologies. Virtual reality. Okay, lets you see things from a distance and see things you can't see before. Wake up. Realize that, the Uber model. Uber doesn't work as a taxi company, right? What happens when Uber has taxi cabs made with General Motors and partnerships that doesn't need a driver? It's a whole new world, right? What happens when they ban regular cars from cities and only use electric vehicles? That's coming. It's a great city urban transportation device. It ain't worth the shit on the highway the way we use them out here, but it's a reality. So live in the world that's coming. Donald Trump, he's an old man. Now, I know a lot of old people are pretty switched on, but Donald Trump's not one of them. He's heavily medicated. He's got a mental problem. He truly does. And you need to realize that. And he's got himself an impeachment problem. And he's got himself a cover-up he's now having to engage in. And that cover-up is going to blow up in his sleazy face. You listen to me. You listen to me. To say, if you want the model, it's not a very smart Bill Clinton. Okay? It is a very stupid, ignorant, tricky Dick Nixon. Okay? And he believed he could lie and cheat his way out of it. And it didn't work. And although he wasn't impeached, he still had to leave office just the same. Okay? Figure it out. Donald Trump has got himself a great big problem. Now, listen to me. He may survive this. Okay? May. But then again, he may not. And like I said, I doubt he'll be voted impeachment by the Senate, and the Republican majority will not turn on him. I don't believe that's going to happen. But he's got a problem. He's got a problem with himself. He's got a problem with too many dirty deeds becoming public, just like Dick Nixon, where Republicans say, well, we're not going to impeach you, but you got to fucking leave because you're all screwed up and everyone knows about your devious deeds. Okay, so do the right thing and resign. I can see Donald Trump, God forbid, having a heart attack or a mental breakdown or becoming severely incapacitated and saying, my fellow Americans, I love America, but I can't go on, I'm too ill, and do the 20th Amendment on him. I could see that very easily happen, okay? And everyone agrees not to prosecute him as he goes off, and, he goes back with Ivanka, and she sits on the piano and plays golden songs to him. So either way, Trump's in trouble. Or the other side of this thing is that this gets so bad that he loses the election, okay? And that is another situation that could well develop here. So how does this go? Badly. It's going to be in the headlines. It's going to be all over the place. You need to prepare for that. And it represents fantastic trading opportunities. Oh, my God. I mean, as Donald Trump comes undone and uncorked, the markets will be reeling, and not necessarily down, okay? I mean, remember, you had the biggest stock market rally under Clinton's impeachment, okay? It's a very dicey game, and you really need to understand it. So I hope you're prepared for this, because guess what? Your boy is in deep trouble. He's in trouble. Oh, no, not Donald.